Hi, my name is Jordan, and I sing for a band called La Dispute, and you are watching Speaker TV. We did a video interview the other day and realized how awkward I feel holding a microphone, which is a bizarre thing since I kind of do it for a living. Pretty much exactly a year ago was the last time we were here. It's a perfect place to be weather-wise. Yeah, it's funny. Where we're from, it's middle of winter and covered in snow. And immediately prior to this, we were in Europe, so we flew from Heathrow in the middle of a snowstorm in London and got out to the Australian summer in Sydney. So, you know, it's funny. We actually do generally bring a kitchen with us. We typically, when we're in the States, we have our guitar player Chad essentially assembled a functioning mobile kitchen in a road case for old audio equipment. He's got a electric wok and a pot to boil water, and so we actually roll pretty prepared. I'm vegan, a couple of us are vegan, a couple of us are vegetarian, so that narrows things down a bit. I try to make as good a vegan food as I possibly can. I'm probably not the world's best cook, but I have a good time doing it. This record, we wanted to kind of broaden the context. In previous releases, we focused pretty narrowly on specific topics. And I think this time, for a couple reasons, we wanted to just kind of broaden the scope of what we were discussing. One, we wanted to really capture not just a specific feeling, but like the general unease and restlessness of being a 20-something and trying to figure out what's next and try to make sense of what's come before. So there was that, and we also really wanted to start to explore other people's stories and to kind of take a step out of our own personal lives, my own personal life specifically for the subject matter of previous releases. A lot of it was things that had gone on around us in our hometown, and interactions that I had with people that I met, stories that we heard back in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we're from. And I think that was just a product of, when we wrote the previous full length, a very specific thing was dictating how I thought and functioned. So it was natural to write about that. And this time around, we had gone through a lot more and seen a lot of different things and been approached with a whole new set of experience and difficulties. And so it was just, I think, more than anything, a product of our environment. I used to tell these really elaborate stories when I was a little kid about my old mom and my old dad to my parents, as if I had lived a past life. And my parents kind of laughed it off for a long time. It's something I still get teased for by my siblings. One time we went on a camping trip back home in Michigan, and we were driving out there, and I told my parents, I was like 5 or 6, if that, and I told my parents that that where we were going was where my old dad was buried. And we were driving there, and they're like, and they had like even asked the pediatrician about it when I was young, just like, is this something we should be worried about? And he was like, no, it happens all the time around this age, blah blah blah. And it just means he has a good imagination. And then we were driving out to the beach. I kept saying that, like, this is where my old dad's buried. And we got there, and the path to the beach on Lake Michigan forks 2 different ways with this particular campground or public beach or whatever it is. And we were walking there, and I told my mom and dad, I was like, no, we gotta go this way. Like, this is where my old dad is buried. And my parents were like, might as well go check it out. And then we walked down the pathway, and I was ahead of everyone, and I stopped and I pointed off the path. And my parents caught up to me, and there was an unmarked grave with a makeshift wooden fence built around it. You couldn't read anything on the graves. And I was like, that's my dad's grave. So that's a weird thing I experienced, though I barely recollect it. I'm creeping everyone out with this story. It's a coincidence. It's nothing. It was a coincidence. Now that's on the internet in 2 different ways. Great. Everyone's gonna think I'm crazy.
Secret TV.